You know the only thing standing between you and everything you've ever wanted is already sitting in your mind right now. Most people think manifestation is just about daydreaming or repeating positive quotes until something magical happens. But here's the twist. There's a reason why some people seem to attract opportunities everywhere they go, while others try for years and get nowhere. And it has nothing to do with luck. Today we're about to uncover the real reason manifestation works for some and fails for most. And once you see it, you'll never look at your own goals the same way again. The biggest trap people fall into with manifestation is believing it's just about wishing hard enough and waiting for the universe to magically deliver. That's the version you see online. The idea that if you just repeat affirmations or write something in a notebook, your life will instantly change. And that's why so many end up quitting, claiming it doesn't work. But here's the truth. Manifestation is not about sitting still and hoping. It's about rewiring how your mind sees the world. Think of your brain like a powerful filter, constantly scanning millions of pieces of information but only showing you what it thinks is important. Most people don't realize this, but everything you focus on actually trains that filter. If you're always looking for problems, your brain will deliver problems. If you're locked in on growth, chances are you'll start seeing opportunities in places you'd normally miss. It's the reason why two people can live in the same city with the same resources, even the same connections, and one constantly stumbles on lucky breaks while the other can't even see a way out. Luck isn't the difference, focus is. That's what manifestation really starts with, directing your attention so precisely your brain begins to align the outside world with your inner world. Visualization and positive thinking spark confidence, sure, but here's the catch. Belief alone only gets you halfway, and unless you know how that belief actually shapes reality, you'll miss the real power behind it. But once you understand the science hidden inside this so-called magic, everything changes. There's a simple reason manifestation can feel real without being mystical. The brain is a filter, not a camera, and it shows what it's been told to look for through the reticular activating system, RAS for short. The RAS sits in the brainstem, regulates wakefulness and attention, and decides which tiny fraction of the chaos reaches conscious awareness, which is why clear focus changes what opportunities are noticed and acted on. When a goal is defined with emotion, the RAS starts tagging related cues as important, people, places, and information that align with that aim. So the world seems to offer more of it because the brain is finally catching it in the net. This isn't wishful thinking, it's neurofilters plus expectation effects shaping behavior. Athletes have leaned on mental rehearsal for decades, because imagining a skill recruits overlapping neural pathways, sharpening execution, focus, and confidence during the real thing, which improves performance under pressure when paired with practice. That same mechanism explains why vivid visualization can prime faster decisions, better attention, and a stronger follow-through when chances appear, because the brain has already seen it and knows what to do. Belief also moves the needle through placebo pathways that alter real outcomes, not just feelings. In sports studies, simply believing a supplement would help lead athletes to run measurably faster sprints, and similar expectancy tweaks changed objective performance in controlled tests, even in kids, showing that expectation can upshift effort, arousal, and output in ways that look like luck from the outside. That's why acting as if isn't pretending. It signals the system, raises readiness, and pulls attention toward choices that compound into results. Put together, the loop looks like this. Intention sets the target, visualization primes the circuits, belief boosts readiness, and the RAS filters for the next actionable cue, so momentum builds where attention goes. But there's a catch most people miss, and it's the reason vision boards stall out even when the science is solid. Belief and imagery light the runway. Identity and aligned action are what get the wheels off the ground next. Most people don't fail at manifestation because it's fake. They fail because they treat it like a wish and not a system. They set a goal once, feel motivated for a weekend, then slowly slide back into old habits and old stories. The mind hears the vision, but the lifestyle never changes, so nothing in the environment has a reason to shift. It's like typing a destination into maps, then refusing to follow the turns. The first hidden trap is clarity drift. One week it's a new job, the next it's more time, then it's a business, and by Friday it's just less stress. When the target keeps moving, the brain's filter can't lock on. The result is scattered effort, lots of motion, no momentum. Clear, specific intentions give the reticular activating system something concrete to track. Vague desires blur into background noise. The second trap is passive positivity. Vision boards, mantras, feel-good playlists. They're great primers, but they become quicksand if they replace action. People confuse feeling aligned with being effective, then wonder why nothing materializes. The mind gets a dopamine hit from imagining the finish line and loses the drive to take step one. The more it's fantasized, the less it's executed. The third trap is the quiet saboteur, identity conflict. On the surface, someone wants wealth, love, or confidence. Underneath, there's a loop whispering, "That's not me," or "People like me don't get that," or "If I win, I'll lose them." When the desire and the self-image don't match, the mind pulls the brakes in clever ways. Procrastination, sudden emergencies, or picking goals that are safely out of reach. It looks like bad luck from the outside. Inside, it's misalignment. There's also the timing myth. People expect instant fireworks and ignore compounding. Early actions produce invisible wins, skills, contacts, micro-opportunities, then all at once the graph spikes. Most quit in the flat part of the curve, just before the jump. Not because it isn't working, but because progress wasn't loud enough yet. And finally, there's the environment loop. Trying to manifest a new life while living inside the old triggers is like trying to dry off in the rain. Same apps, same conversations, same routines. Every cue pulls attention back to yesterday. Change the cues and the cues change the choices. Keep the cues and willpower gets drained before lunch. All of this points to a simple truth. Belief is the spark, but alignment is the engine. When goals stop shifting, when actions match the vision, when identity supports the outcome, momentum feels almost unfair. And that's the turning point, because the next move isn't about forcing more effort. It's about becoming the kind of person for whom the result is normal. The real unlock isn't asking, "How do I get what I want?" It's asking, "Who naturally has this, and how do I become that person?" Results follow identity the way a shadow follows light. When the inner story upgrades, behavior stops fighting and starts flowing. The person who is trying to be consistent struggles. The person who is consistent just does what feels normal. That's the quiet cheat code: change what feels normal. Start with the simplest pivot. I'm the kind of person who, it sounds small, but it rewires choices. I'm the kind of person who keeps promises to myself. Suddenly, skipping the plan feels off-brand. I'm the kind of person who attracts opportunities. The mind begins scanning for proof. Identity statements aren't wishful. They're instructions to the system. Over days, those instructions become habits. Over weeks, habits become evidence. Over months, evidence becomes certainty. This is where most people underestimate momentum. They wait to feel like the future version before acting like them. Flip it. Borrow the behaviors for 7 days and let emotion catch up to identity. If the future version networks weekly, send 2 messages today. If the future version wakes early, set the alarm and prepare the night before. Identity is built in micro choices that vote for who's in charge now. Another lever. Change what counts as a win. If the identity is creator, then publishing once is a win. Refining is a win. Learning is a win. If the identity is builder, then 1 outreach, 1 rep, 1 draft all count. When wins are frequent, the nervous system relaxes and consistency stops costing willpower. The loop becomes self-feeding. Act like the person, collect proof, feel like the person, act even more like the person. Environment seals the shift. Keep cues that match the new self. Remove cues that anchor the old one. Phones off the nightstand. Workout clothes in sight. Scripts, templates, and prompts ready to go. People who speak the new language closer. Energy drains on mute. Identity is social. Surrounding signals either reinforce or erode it. Make the desired version the path of least resistance. And when the old story pushes back, because it will, treat it like weather, not truth. Name it, normalize it, and move anyway. Here's the urge to delay. That makes sense. The builder does 5 minutes. Identity isn't perfection, it's pattern. Each time the new pattern wins, even by an inch, the old one loses authority. Do this for a short, focused window, and something unexpected happens. The outcome stops feeling out of reach. It starts feeling inevitable. That's the quiet click everyone talks about when they say things suddenly started flowing. It isn't luck, it's alignment. And once identity is locked, the next piece turns that alignment into visible results fast. Emotion is fuel. It colors attention, sharpens or blurs focus, and quietly decides which choices feel obvious versus impossible. High energy states like gratitude, certainty, and calm drive cleaner decisions and faster follow-through, while low states like doubt and scarcity tilt the mind toward hesitation. That's why 2 people with the same plan get wildly different results. Their emotional baseline changes how boldly they move and how quickly they recover from friction. The goal isn't to be hyped 24/7, it's to cultivate steady, elevated energy on purpose, so action feels natural instead of forced. Think of emotion as the signal that programs the filter. When gratitude is practiced before taking a step, the brain tags the moment as safe and attention opens. When tension dominates, the system narrows and hunts for threats. This is why small, repeatable mood shifters are crucial. A 2-minute breath reset, one sentence of self-praise after a task, a quick walk to reset the loop. These aren't fluff, they're the switches that keep the internal state aligned with the vision long enough to stack wins. The aim is quiet power, not chaotic hype. Here's the twist most miss. Feeling it first isn't pretending, it's rehearsal. Feeling it real is less about faking success and more about rehearsing the posture, tone, and choices of the future self until the body recognizes them as normal. When certainty is rehearsed, the pitch email gets sent without overthinking. When calm is rehearsed, a setback triggers curiosity instead of collapse. Emotional rehearsal turns intimidating steps into familiar ones, and familiar steps are taken faster. Create a simple emotional ladder for the day. Start with grounding, 3 slow breaths, then gratitude, one specific thing, not generic. Then intention, one sentence about how the future version approaches today. Follow it with one micro-action that proves the tone. Reply to the message, publish the post, make the ask. Emotion first, evidence second. Evidence then feeds emotion back. That loop compounds. Keep it small. Consistency beats intensity when it comes to state. Protect the signal with environment edits. Audit music, feeds, and conversations that pull energy down, even subtly. Swap doom scrolls for a 5-minute highlight reel of past wins. Stash friction removers in reach, templates, checklists, auto-responses, so momentum survives low-mood moments. The point isn't to never dip, it's to shorten the dip. Fast recoveries keep the week intact, and intact weeks change outcomes. And when the day goes sideways, use a reset phrase to interrupt the spiral. Something simple like, "This is a chapter, not the story," followed by one 2-minute task that moves the plan forward. That tiny win rebalances the state and proves agency is still in play. Do that enough times and the baseline rises. The work starts to feel lighter, opportunities feel closer. And that's when alignment stops being theory and starts showing up in results, because the next move turns that elevated state into targeted, visible action. This is where the vision stops living in a notebook and starts showing up in a calendar. Aligned action isn't doing more, it's doing the right next thing that a future version would do on an average day. Think of it like a relay. Intention sets the lane, emotion gives the speed, and action carries the baton across each checkpoint. The plan is simple on purpose, because simplicity is what survives busy weeks and low-energy mornings. Start with one clear, non-negotiable daily move tied to the goal. If the aim is financial growth, the move might be one outreach, one listing, or one pitch, measurable, done in under 15 minutes and trackable. If the aim is health, make it one prepared meal or one timed walk. If the aim is creative output, publish one thing in public, even a small draft. Visibility beats perfection because it creates feedback, and feedback creates direction. Tiny, visible wins compound faster than massive, hidden plans. Batch friction out of the path. Set up a first 10 minutes ritual that starts the same way every day. Open the project doc, cue the template, send the first message. No thinking, just sequence. Preload tools the night before. Tabs open, files ready, list at the top. When the first step is obvious, momentum starts before motivation wakes up. Most lack of discipline is just too much setup. Aim for progress signals, not just outcomes. Outcomes are delayed, signals are instant. A progress signal might be send 3 messages, log 30 focused minutes, or hit publish. Track signals on a simple scoreboard where streaks are visible. The mind loves seeing continuity. It turns effort into a game and makes missing a day feel like breaking a promise to the identity established in the last section. Protect the streak by lowering the bar, not skipping the day. Use 2 filters to choose actions, impact and immediacy. High-impact steps move the needle if they work. High-immediacy steps can be done now without waiting on anyone. The sweet spot is actions that are both make the ask, ship the draft, book the call. If a step requires someone else, pair it with one solo step today so control stays in-house. The rule is simple, no closed laptop victories. If it didn't leave the head and hit the world, it doesn't count. Turn obstacles into pre-decisions. If mornings slip, set a no-scroll until action rule. If outreach feels heavy, use a template library and a 5-sentence maximum. If perfection stalls publishing, use a 2-round edit cap, then ship. Pre-decisions remove willpower from the moment and keep the identity in charge. The aim isn't to feel brave, it's to make the brave choice boring. Finally, create a daily evidence loop to lock alignment. Start with 60 seconds of vision to prime the filter. Take one precise action to signal the identity. Log the proof where it's easy to see. Then close with a one-line debrief. What worked? What to repeat tomorrow? That micro-retrospective keeps the system improving without drama. Repeat this loop for 7 days and the landscape starts changing. More replies, more openings, more momentum. That's not luck. It's attention meeting initiative. And the moment it becomes routine, the question shifts from will it work to how far can this go? Start with a 7-day momentum sprint, short, sharp, and designed to feel winnable from day one. Every morning, do 3 moves in under 5 minutes. Write 3 specific outcomes. Visualize one for 60 seconds with emotion. Then pick one micro action that leaves the head and hits the world before noon. Keep each action so small it's easier to do than to delay. 1 message sent, 1 draft posted, 1 meal prepped, 1 walk scheduled, because tiny visible wins flip the brain into proof-seeking mode fast. Use habit stacking to remove friction and lock consistency without willpower drama. Tie the ritual to something already done daily. After brushing teeth, write the 3 outcomes. After coffee, do the 60-second visualization. Before opening social apps, ship the micro-action. Add a simple cue and reward loop. Place the journal on the pillow at night as a visual trigger, then check off the day on a 7-box grid as the reward. Seeing an unbroken streak keeps the identity invested. Make goals concrete, not fuzzy, so the mind knows what to filter for and how to act now, not someday. Replace more money with land 1 paid client at X this month, then choose actions that touch reality, outreach, offer, follow-up, measurable and binary, done or not done. For health, swap Get Fit for 20-minute walks after dinner free. Then keep shoes by the door and a reminder on the phone. Environment is the silent coach that wins when motivation dips. Set real timelines so expectations don't sabotage progress in week 2. Habits don't hardwire in 21 days for most behaviors. Plan for 8 to 10 weeks for automaticity and enjoy the early wins as signals rather than final outcomes. The 7-day sprint is to create lift. The next few weeks are to climb. Lower the bar on bad days to 1-minute versions so the streak survives and identity stays intact. Track only what drives results and confidence, nothing bloated or performative. Use a 2-line daily log, action shipped, and what worked today. This keeps attention on execution and pattern recognition, not overthinking. Add a weekly checkpoint. Keep, cut or double. Keep what created replies or progress. Cut what felt heavy with no payoff. Double the action that produced movement. If resistance hits, pre-decide the rescue plan so there's no debate in the moment. Pick a go-to downshift action that still counts. 1 outreach template sent. 1 paragraph posted. 1 10-minute walk. Proof over perfection. Always. Pair it with a reset phrase, chapter, not the story, and move, because movement restores state faster than waiting for the perfect mood. Do this for 7 days, and the landscape starts to change. More signals, more responses, more momentum, less noise. And that's the point. Once the flywheel turns, aligned action stops feeling like effort and starts feeling like gravity, which sets up the final piece, how to lock this in so results don't just happen once, they keep compounding. But that isn't the whole story. The conclusion ties everything together and leaves one question that lingers long after the video ends. Manifestation isn't magic. It's a system where focus sets the target. Identity makes it feel normal. Emotion fuels the follow-through. And daily moves turn ideas into outcomes. When attention is trained on something specific, the mind starts catching opportunities it used to miss. When identity shifts, the right behavior stops feeling like willpower and starts feeling automatic. When emotion is steady and elevated, consistency becomes easier. And when small actions hit the world every day, momentum compounds fast. The gap between wishing and winning is alignment. Once the inside stops arguing with the outside, progress looks inevitable. Here's the next step, simple and powerful. Run a 7-day momentum sprint, starting tomorrow morning. Write 3 specific outcomes the moment the day starts. Feel one of them for 60 seconds like it's already in motion. Then ship a micro-action before noon that a future version would complete on an average day. Track the streak where it's easy to see. And if a day goes sideways, don't break it, shrink it. Small proof stacks into confidence, and confidence turns bold action into the new baseline. That's the flywheel. So ask the only question that matters. If what's wanted is one decision and 7 days away from feeling inevitable, what's the first action that leaves the head and hits the world today? And once it's done, lock it in. Comment day 1 and name the micro-action. Share this with someone to run the sprint together, and subscribe for the follow-up with ready-to-use templates and reset phrases that make momentum hard to lose.